long-time volunteer versus guy who owns everything.
3 rounds of combat.
Don't hold it against me, please.
No, no.
I mean, well, it's kind of a disadvantage because I never get to play Atari anymore. So this is kind of a nice vacation for me. Also, I get to play one of the greatest Atari collectors and players around, and James has been winning these tournaments, for years.
And the other thing is he graciously donated, a lot of people, and I forgot to thank you publicly, but
oh, it's okay.
He donated a Fairchild Channel F, an Arcadia 2001, and RCA Studio 2 to our console timeline.
Oh, nice.
And
I love all the old systems.
Those don't grow on trees, so we really appreciate it.
Hey, you're welcome. Glad to help out.
Yeah,
it's fun stuff.
Thank you.
May the best man win.
All right,
That's great.
All right, you guys ready to get started?
Oh, good job. That was it.
Yes!
Congratulations.
Nice job.
First place winner, followed by James Randall in second place.
Good match.
That was great, man. That was a lot of fun.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
How many years was that in the making?
James?
Oh, yeah. Hey, thank you very much.
I've been training for that for 28 years.
We will be handing out the trophies and an award ceremony pretty soon. So we'll stick around here. We'll get the
Thanks,
trophies
everybody.
Congratulations.
Wow. That was awesome.
That was awesome. You did good, man. Both of you.
Thank you. I want to thank thanks everybody who put together this expo. It's really been a lot of fun. Great show, everybody. I gotta go cool down. I gotta get some water.
600 tournament, we got Don Entwistle. Don, would you come up say it, please? Big hand for Don. All right, in second place, we have James Randall. First place, we have Anthony Ramos. It'll be awesome. First place, 2600.
Many of you know me already, but my name is John Hancock, and I'm one of the organizers of Portland Retro Gaming Expo. And I thought it'd be kind of fun to just have kind of a basic conversation of kind of, how some people see my videos on YouTube and see like, how in the heck did you get all that? You must be rich, or you must be in the industry, or you must buy everything on eBay. And the actual truth is none of that's correct. And I'm actually just pretty much just a standard guy. I'm a counselor by day. I work at Community Mental Health in Longview, Washington, on a pretty humble budget. And I'm here to talk to fellow collectors to help them be informed and save money, and how to stretch your dollar. It's been fun collecting video games. I think where the frustration comes for some people is like they think that it's expensive, or they think that, gosh, I can't get some of the harder to get stuff unless I blow a bunch of money. And I'm telling you that it doesn't take any of that. It does take, I feel, I'm going to kind of overview 10 basic tips and share some stories with those tips of how I did it. And I think the first thing to remember is collaborating. I think a lot of collectors, especially people that lurk, I think that's great. But I think collaborating with others, you're gonna get way more helpful items and trade stock. I collaborate. I'm part of this group that helped put this on. Also, part of NWCGE, and a wonderful group of collectors that have worked together as a team. By collaborating with them, I've been adding stuff to my collection, and on top of making some wonderful friendships. The next tip is I do want to talk a little bit specifically on online forums, because there's several wonderful forums out there to collaborate with other collectors to talk about information, to a discussion about a specific rarity game, and there's several great ones out there. Just a few. Nintendo Age is a great website for Nintendo items. Atari Age for Atari related items. Digipress is kind of the kitchen sink where if you collect a little bit of everything. Other things, there's Cheap Ass Gamer, I think, is another great website. There's a PlayStation specific forum, the Sega 16 forum, and those are just a handful, and I know there's many others out there. Maybe you collect a specific video game system. I recommend then to find the specific video game website forum for that, the Jaguar sector. You got the VidPack Odyssey 2 website. If you really want to educate and collaborate with people that collect the same things that you do. I think that another big tip, and this is a challenge for some people due to time, is to look everywhere and anywhere. Don't just hit the thrift store. Don't just hit yard sales. Yard sales is a good example. Now, yeah, 1 out of 20, it might be worth it. But it's totally worth it to hit every yard sale to ask. When you go to a yard sale, do you have any old video games? Say a name. Explain it to them. Because sometimes I'll go to a yard sale and say, hey, do you have any video games here? Oh, we got some VHS tapes, or something. You might have to explain it in detail. Yeah, like Pac-Man or Atari, or throw out some names. It definitely pays to look everywhere. It's sometimes challenging, and sometimes people live in an area there's not a lot of thrift stores, but I totally recommend it. Because you never know what you're going to find. I found, one of the craziest stores I found was in Burning, California, this abandoned aluminum shed. This guy had this crazy Nintendo collection that I saw, because the door was open. And it was, I asked him about it, and he welcomely showed me, and I bought some video games, because I asked. You just never know where you're going to find your next crazy store. Another tip is I do recommend to shop around and compare prices. That is a good way to save money. I can't tell you how many times that I've shopped around, and I'm okay with telling someone hey, I can get this X amount of dollars here, or not. It'll be nice about it, especially if it's a big price difference or something. I think that's important to you can say that in two different ways. I recommend the sugar way and not the vinegar way. So another tip to remember is I think a lot of people focus on what they collect, and I think that I wouldn't have gotten that if I just collected what I collect. Because I have several great friends, John Rose, Charles Hans, I've seen some of them, and Billy, and I always look out for what they're looking for too, because it's important to collect trade stock. And for an example of that would be, I know that my friend John here, he collects 8-bit Atari cards. I know that that would be worth more than money for him, and that he would trade well if I got an Atari 8-bit card that he wanted. So it's important to seek out what other friends or know what's popular. A good example of that is like a Super Nintendo AV cable. It's only it's worth subjective amount, like $5–10, but everybody will trade for that because everybody's missing it, and it's a common cable that you can find everywhere. But it's good trade stock because you might be able to get maximum value if you find stuff like that, even in bulk. The next one's a big one for me. Is I collect because I want to. I collect because I'm passionate about it. I love video games. I love the history of it. I love playing it. Like I said, I have 32 consoles hooked up in my game room to play, but I have my collection around it. And so I'm not just a collector, but I play games too. And you guys may collect for different reasons, but I think it's important that to get into it because you want to for some aspect, because when it doesn't become fun, whether whether you're selling games or playing games or just appreciating games, when it's not fun, you shouldn't do it. Another one that I've struggled with, it's taken me a long time to, and I think by getting older helps, is patience. I've talked to a lot of collectors where they're like, I want to get every Sega Genesis game and I think I can do it in like a year and a half. And I want to be nice to them and tell them, you might be able to do that, but it probably won't happen. You know, realistically, unless you're rich, unless you just go on eBay and buy everything. Patience, dedication, not just collecting sets, but just don't put a time limit on it. Don't say I'm going to collect this in 3 years. Just say I'm going to collect it because it's fun, or I like having fun doing it, and be patient. The other big tip is to salvage parts, recycle. And there's a lot of things about video games that can be saved, depending on how technical you are. I'm not technical, but I'm blessed to have technical friends and to help me with my collection. You know, you might have a broken console with, like, for example, Super Nintendo. Holy cow! You know, raise your hand about if those yellow tops annoy you, right? Well, there's a chemical online. It's like it's free to download, but you can actually make it and save that yellowing. You can actually salvage the color. The other thing too is a lot of the times the top part's yellowed and the bottom part isn't. Well, you can just buy a Super NES system, get a good deal on it, and wait for a nice new one and have a backup spare. And you can typically save lots of money that way. The other one is a personal preference of mine, and some people may disagree, but I always buy used. I buy used when I can. I support the industry, but I collect older games. So it's easier for me to buy used because my collection is from 1972 to 2002. But I typically buy used because I save money that way. I'm on a budget. I had to choose, I respect sealed collectors, but my budget wouldn't go that far, and that's why I'm not a sealed collector. The last one, and open it up to questions, is it's a big one. It's educate yourself. And really do your research on what you collect. You will save money. There's lots of free information out there. I'm going to do a shameless plug for my DVDs, but there is a lot of just free information out there about systems. There's wonderful videos online that talk about each individual systems, just little hiccups to remember about them. And I encourage you to seek out, because I'm a previous teacher. I'm all about knowledge. You can't, the day you die is the day you stop learning. And there's, I feel like I know a lot of basic information about these consoles, but there's a ton more I need to know. And I'm constantly learning, researching about variants, about, games that I found out about a game on the Game Gear list that's not on any list on this show. It's legitimate, it's not on any list. The name of it's over there, but, I didn't know that. I've been going for a Game Gear set. I'm glad I talked to somebody. But again, it's just seeking out information about your video games is going to save you a lot of money.